Chip Kelly hired at Ohio State, not as the head coach, as offensive coordinator, stepping down from his head coaching role at UCLA. This is a big surprise in the college football world, but like we've seen in the last couple years, there are many surprises that have happened and many more to come. I'm Nathan Johnston, here with my co-host Brad Hopkins. It's time to break the huddle. Brad, as I just mentioned in the intro, Chip Kelly jumps over to Ohio State. We know Bill O'Brien was expected to be the new OC at Ohio State for the Buckeyes. He transitions into a new role as head coach at Boston College. You can check out that video on our channel in the description. I'll put it above. This is wild. This is a huge upgrade, in my opinion, for the Buckeyes on offense. We know that Chip Kelly has done a tremendous job coaching quarterbacks in the past, and look, we also learned Chip Kelly was interviewing for offensive coordinator positions in the NFL. If Bill O'Brien had stayed at Ohio State, this might have not happened, and Chip Kelly could be somewhere in the NFL right now. We don't know, but here we are today. Brad, I'll turn it over to you. Thoughts on Chip Kelly and what he brings to the Ohio State Buckeyes? And, I mean, the Ohio State Buckeyes are all in on this one, so to speak. They've got all their chips on the table. And Will Howard comes in. They spend over $13 million allegedly on NIL transfers, and this is, to me, this is Ryan Day's last chance. Are they going to call his bluff? Again, I'll hand it over to you, Brad. What does Chip Kelly bring to the Buckeyes?
Absolutely, Nate. So I want to hit on two things. And you mentioned one, Ryan Day. This is very critical for him because look, the Ohio State, we know they recruit well, and they have gone all in on the portal this offseason. I mean, it's just an unbelievable portal class, just on offense. Take away some of the defensive guys, bringing in Will Howard, bringing in, Quinshon Judkins, bringing in, true freshman Julian Sayin. It's an unbelievable class. I commend Ryan Day because, after losing to Michigan, is it 3 or 4 straight? I believe it's 3 straight years. Not winning a national championship, the pressure is on him. And I think he's done a really, really good job revamping that staff, but he knows the pressure's on. I mean, I think it was an absolute home run hire bringing Chip Kelly in. If you look back, his Oregon offenses were always fun. He always had Heisman always had Heisman contenders in his offense. You think about Marcus Mariota, you think about those Oregon offenses were always fun and electric. Nate, the interesting thing to me is this quarterback battle. I've gone on record that I don't think Will Howard is necessarily – he may start the year. I'm on the record that he may not finish the year. I think Julian Sayin has got a legitimate chance to beat him out. And look, Chip Kelly is just really, really going to – he's going to bring a very, very dynamic offense. I think they're going to be electric. I think they're going to be fun. I think easily Ohio State has the best running back room in the country with Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson. We know he's still got a loaded wide receiver core, and they have, in my opinion, the best wide receiver coach in the nation in Brian Hartline. So this is just setting up so perfect for Ohio State to be a very, very explosive offense. There's no reason to me that they should not be one of the top 3 scoring offenses in the country. And look, if Ryan Day doesn't get it done this year, I don't think he's the guy there in Columbus. My final thought before I turn it back over to you, Nate, reading some Ohio State fans, they said they don't mind the hire, but they also feel like, the game is kind of past Chip Kelly. I wouldn't necessarily agree with that. I do think, he can't run some of the same stuff that he ran in Oregon. I think he's got to modernize, and he's got to evolve as a play caller. And Nate, my final comment before I turn it back over to you, I'm interested to see the relationship between him and Ryan Day. I think you're seeing Ryan Day really take a step back as more of a CEO role. But what happens when he doesn't like what Chip Kelly calls, or are they going to butt heads? So I think it's going to be interesting. I think they're set up for success there in Columbus, but it's going to be a storyline that we follow all through 2024, I feel like.
Yeah, Brad, you hit on a lot of great points there. A few things that I'm looking for. Number one, how does Chip Kelly implement this run game into the Ohio State offense? This is a conference built up front, right? We talk about the SEC with their offensive line, defensive linemen, but Ohio State, Michigan, those kind of teams, they're built just the same as the upper SEC teams. And obviously, I think some might agree that the SEC has a slight edge when it comes to that aspect. But with Will Howard and his size and his strength, I'm curious to see how Chip Kelly uses him, not just the run game with the running backs, but uses Will Howard in the run game as well. We know that Chip Kelly likes to go fast. Now we're going to get to see a chance of West Coast meeting pro style, and that's exciting to me. On top of that, we talked about how Chip Kelly's offense is a thing of the past. I don't think it is. I think Chip Kelly has been in a role over the last few years where he's had to take on the CEO role of a head coach, which, as we know, comes with a lot more responsibilities than being a coordinator. Now he gets to take a step back, step into his throne of an offensive guru, right? And now he gets an opportunity to coach exactly what he wants to coach, offense. And with that comes recruiting solely in the positions that he's good at recruiting, the quarterback play, the wide receiver play. All of that comes into it and ties into a big bundle. I'm just excited overall, but those are my biggest points about Chip Kelly. I think he's going to be a great fit at Ohio State. And I'm curious to see, like I said, what he does on the recruiting trail, specifically with the quarterbacks. We always talked about him being a quarterback guru. He coached Marcus Mariota. He coached Michael Vick at the Eagles. He's coached Dorian Thompson at UCLA. So he knows how to coach really good quarterbacks and build them into something great. And you mentioned all the Heisman candidates he had at Oregon. Yeah, this is setting up to be a great year for the Ohio State Buckeyes. If you're a Buckeyes fan, you should be extremely excited about this hire and what Chip Kelly is going to bring to the table